Yo, mic check, mic check. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor!
Yo, welcome to Morning Motivation, your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm thrilled to have you join us as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. So whether you're here to seek motivation, connect with like-minded individuals, or simply get your day started on the right foot, you've come to the right place. And on your way in the door, go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know you're here. Say what's up. What's up? What the deal? Auntie Canada, first in the building.
The champ is here!
That's right. How you feeling this morning? Did you have a good weekend? It's Monday. There are so many things to talk about. So many. So many things happening. So many things going on. We can go from the whole Diddy situation, the Tyson fight over the weekend, politics. I mean, there's so many things happening in the world. And this is one of the things that when I initially decided I wanted to do this show, it was a little bit of a social experiment. And largely, I wanted to see if I could do a live stream. I had never really done my own. Now I've done streams for other people, but I had never done my own live stream before. And that was just curiosity of, what it took to actually internally what it took, not equipment, not gear. Did I have what it took to do the live stream thing? Auntie Canada said, yes, that Tyson and that Jake Paul fight. It's so much to discuss in that thing, man. It's let's just say, yeah, I don't know. But I want to give a special shout out to a new subscriber. When I did the series last week on military, I felt like I needed to do it not just because my son was going through the process, but because I remember the process and I see those years, 18 to 23, as being trap years. Trap years meaning that's when the highest rates of pregnancy happens, the highest rate of STIs are transmitted, criminal activity, in trouble with the law. Most people, if you can get them past 25, 26, you ain't got to worry about them contracting nothing, going, having too many run-ins with the law, And so the series I did on the military was timely for my son, but also a new subscriber, must say Michaela Mading, I think. I'm sorry if I messed it up. I messed your name up. But she said that, here's her comment. This video was great. I just turned 20 and I'm almost done with my gap year. So she took a gap year, meaning I'm going to take a year to make up my mind before I go to college or I go to get a job somewhere or whatever. Maybe she did a little traveling, visiting family and friends. She says, and I realized I don't want to go to school. So the gap year can be great. What up, D-Rob? Salute, my guy. She said her dad is a recruiter, so he gave her the talk. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Glad I found this video. And so that's the second reason why I started this channel, because I knew I had learned enough in my life that I could share it in a way that was somewhat easy to understand, because I know some of the some of the content that I share. But it was a great weekend, but it was also a long one. It's trying to get my words together, get my coffee together. But I know some of the content that I share, it wouldn't be like wildly popular to people until they needed it. We're not doing pop culture here. We're not doing he said, she said stuff. We're actually talking about building a life worth living, building a life that we want to build. So today I decided to take a step back, and I put the thumbnail up from the very first show, the number one reason why people fail. And I know we've talked about so many different things, so you may not remember exactly what that answer is, but if you remember anything about the reason why people fail, could you put a one in the chat? It's a trap, because once you put that one, I'm gonna ask you to expound a little bit. Tell me the number one reason. That wasn't just clickbait. And so today I want to really have that conversation. I want to have that conversation today about what life is really about, because D-Rob said, I heard a quote this morning and would like you guys input. Go ahead and drop it, bro. Today is going to be a little bit more of an open flow. I don't have a set schedule of things to talk about. Like I say, we could go so many places. Why D-Rob putting it in there? Who saw one? Most people are afraid to take risks. Wow. Shout out down to Canada. Yeah, most people are afraid to take risks. And so with that, who saw that Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? Man, that was some of the. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't getting my sound in.
How you doing, Brother Craig? How you doing?
How you doing, Brother Craig? How you doing? Yeah, gotta get my sound in. Gotta shout out my bro. So this Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was very. Excuse me. Yeah, it was very. D-Rob said you need desire to be fully alive, and you need vision to fulfill your desires. Ooh. D-Rob said, I knew not to watch that mess. How can you rig a fight that bad? I mean, if you got your code, D-Rob. If I don't know what that was. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I don't know exactly what that was. For those of you who saw the fight, if you watched the promotional stuff coming up to the fight, you saw they were showing how fast Tyson was, how much power he still had, how ferocious he was. And you could hear when he hitting his trainer, he's like, his trainer was like, oh shoot. The trainer, but then you get to the fight and Tyson is in the ring and his footwork is horrible. If he threw 30 punches the whole fight, the whole 8 rounds. If he threw 30 punches, I think it will be kind of hard to. I don't think he threw 30 punches. It just looked bad. It looked like this old guy. It looks like an 80-year-old man was in the ring with the young guy. He was scared for his life. He kept biting his glove, and he would, he hit him. He'd be like, oh. He hit him a couple times. He was making that sound effect. But then on the other hand, Jake Paul was. Yeah, it was just it. If I was Jake Paul, I couldn't be proud of that fight. Even if the referee raised my hand at the end, I couldn't be proud of that fight because that's probably the worst fight Jake Paul has ever fought. Now, some people could say it's fear. He was afraid that Tyson still had it and he was trying to play back, but no, I don't think that was the case. I don't, and I think Tyson just wouldn't. I don't think Tyson is that old where he couldn't fight. Trust me, I know some people that's in their early 60s, and if you come at them wrong, they're gonna take your head off. And you don't tell me you trained for 6, 7, 8 months and that's how you moving. Yeah, that was not a legit fight. Oh yes, Ramos and what's that? Was it Serena or whatever? I forget her name. That was a good fight. I thought old girl got robbed. I don't think Ramos won that fight. Like straight up won that fight. So yeah. And don't feel bad for Mike. Mike cashed a big payday and got hit 6 times. Well, maybe 16. And they weren't even hard hits. D-Rob says, how do you break that quote down? Because I'm still trying to understand it a little bit. I got you in a second. He knows not to fight Deontay Wilder or Gervonta Davis. Even Anthony Joshua. So the thing with Jake Paul is, Jake Paul, if you're looking for a check, or if you just want to go beat up somebody, Jake Paul is an attractive fight. But if you spent your life, you built a career boxing, and you an established brand in boxing, there's no benefit to taking a Jake Paul fight. Because as a warrior, you know, no matter how much better you are than your opponent, that opponent always has a shot. They call it a puncher's chance. Meaning, if you just keep throwing punches, one might land. I've seen a bully, and the bully was a certified bully. He could fight, you know, he was bad, and he was chasing this little guy, and the guy was cornered, and he was running from him, and the guy got cornered, and he turned around and swung a haymaker, laid my man out cold. Laid him out cold. Lucky shot. Could he do it again? Not. That was one out of a million opportunities that he could have won, and he won it because he had a puncher's chance because he threw a punch. Now Jake Paul has turned himself into a boxer. I will give him that. I will say that Jake Paul has left the mean YouTube streets, went out there. D-Rob said, I'll fight Jake Paul for 100,000. Hey, D-Rob, bruh, I'm gonna just say you pumped the brakes a little bit there. Because Jake Paul has turned himself into a boxer. He's been doing this now for a couple of years. Now, he ain't mastered it. He ain't Floyd Mayweather level. He ain't Deontay. He ain't Tyson Fury. You know, he ain't Gervonta. You know, he's had a whole 11 fights, 12 fights now if you count this one. No, he's had 11 fights. Can't count this one. This wasn't even a fight. This was a payday. But he's trained so much, and he's proven his dedication that anybody that's just regular now gonna struggle with that guy. You might have had a shot before he started feeling himself and training, you know, so he don't get destroyed out there. D-Rod said, it's okay, knock me out. I just better wake up with my bread in my account. Hey man, people do stranger things for some change. I know. I done made a mean $100 go a long way. If it was prime Tyson, Jake Paul wouldn't have been sleeping when the bell rung. At 58-year-old Tyson, if Tyson had boxed him, I saw Tyson's training. I saw Mike Tyson's training footage. I saw his training footage. The guy who trained and the guy who boxed in that match wasn't the same person. If Tyson had showed up the way he showed up in practice for the last 6, 7, 8 months, Jake Paul would have had the pumpkin head, you know. But anyway, I digress. Auntie Canada said in the very beginning when I asked about the reason for this show, why people don't succeed in life, and she put they were afraid to take risks. Afraid to take risks. Now, this is why I give Jake Paul props, because he was a YouTuber, made his money on YouTube. I forget how many followers he had, but he was popping. And he decided, I'm going to do something different. I want to be legendary. And then he went out and he He laid Polo, somebody out. Then he laid little Nate Robinson out. And Nate was like, I'm an athlete. I throw these hands. I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. He ain't ready for me. Gone. Then he laid the next few guys out. And then he finally lost to a professional fighter, the last fight, the one before Mike Tyson. And that was by decision. So Jake Paul he's becoming a boxer now. I don't think he has a long career in it. I think it's just something he wanted to do, and he stepped out there and he did it. But he found success. He found a new wave because he was willing to take the risk. Auntie Canada, she's willing to take a risk when she was doing her women's group. She didn't want to do it, but she started doing it. And it's growing. She's growing. People are benefiting from it. D-Rob was chilling out in the cut back in Texas. But he had a dream that one day he would be the greatest coach that he could be. And he now realizing that dream. How'd the season turn out for you, man? Oh, that was my best Dr. King impression I did in a long time. Cool. And so while you talking about that, let me get back to your quote. The quote says, "You need desire to be fully alive." The second part of it says, "And you need vision to fulfill your desires." So think about way back last year when we started saying, what's your why? When I was talking about the goals and the vision boards, and basically, what's that thing inside of you that makes you come alive? Look at Coach Deion Sanders, prime time, if you will. Athletics, sports, has always been that thing. What up, yo? Now headed to Florida, so you rolling. What's your why? What's that thing that makes you come alive? And I get when you're younger, it can be sometimes difficult to figure that out because you're good at a lot of different things. And the problem is, as we get older, we try to do all of those things. Oh, I can do this, or I can do that, or I can do this. I told y'all one year I had 7 W-2 forms. When I did my taxes, I had 7 W-2 forms. I was bouncing all over the place. No, D-Rob headed back to the crib. Matter of fact, how'd your season end, man? I noticed it's about at the end of. We're in November now. How'd your season work out? But yeah, D-Rob, that quote, man, it's really about figuring out what makes you come alive. Because in order to get anything, you gotta know what you want, right? That's vision. I'm what you would call I'm a visionary. I'm a visionary. I can see things down the road. I can see opportunities a lot of times before they come. But I can also see people more than I see anything. I can see people that are broken. I can see people that are struggling. I see that, which is why my content is about personal development, because I know that if you begin to have more confidence in yourself, you'll be willing to take more risks. But how do you develop confidence in yourself? Discovering your why, figuring out the thing that really makes you come alive, the thing that you love doing, the thing that you enjoy doing. That is your That is the passion, the desire, right? The vision is, how do I see myself doing this? I can't think of anything else but doing this for real. I love it so much, I do it for free. And which is what happens with a lot of coaches. You have a guys that oh man. So man, that ended 4-6, which is great. The school went 1-9 the past 2 years. Okay. We surpassed the season offensive yards last year in our first game. Dang. Wow. We had 3 nominees for an all-star game. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to the team. But that's what life is about. Coach, I started talking about Coach Deion Sanders. He went to college. He coached his kids every level. Got to college, Jackson State, left Jackson State, now he's at Colorado. The team was 1-11 the year before he got there. He won his first 3 games the first year. Fans went, wow, haters hated. And then he lost. He finished 4-8. And he was predicted this year to be the bottom of his conference. Well, as of today, they're 8-2. They're 8-2. Because his vision, his passion was football. His passion was his children. His vision was, I want to make sure my children have the best opportunities. I want to make sure the guys on their teams have a father figure and a good opportunity to go to the next level, because the next level changes lives. Coach Primetime knew that exposure matters. And because he was exposed to the NFL, to the MLB, when he came back, he realized the guys that were coaching his children didn't have the exposure. So his passion became bringing the exposure to not just his children, but to the other kids on the team. And he authentically loves doing it, which is why people are throwing so many stones at him, which is why people are trying to discredit him and trying to hurt the kids because they don't like him, because he is authentically himself and he don't care what you think about him. He's doing the work because he's passionate about it. He desires to do it, but he also sees what he wants to accomplish. So D-Rob, I hope that answers that question, man. D-Rob said, I had the time of my life, bro. The fact that I almost didn't move out here because of fear and uncertainty is crazy. Bruh, that's the thing that trips so many people up, because we are concerned about the how. We are concerned that, what if I fail? Matter of fact, y'all know I frequent the Lord's house on occasion. But this particular time, I was working. And I did a business conference all last weekend, well, weekend before last. And excuse me, this word might be for y'all, but this is the summation of what I got from that weekend. Before I get to that, D-Rob says, I have 4 kids at the school telling me, thanks for everything, coach, and I only been there 4 months. Bruh, they see your desire. They see your passion. And you had the vision to go out there and take that risk, bruh. And because you took the risk, you got the reward. Because you took the risk, you got the reward. Like the young lioness that just was in my they commented on the last video, 10 reasons why the military is a cheat code. She said, this video was great. I just turned 20 and I'm almost done with my gap year. And I realized I don't want to go to school, because she probably felt the pressure of friends and family to go to school, but I don't really want to do that. I'm going to all this debt and I don't even want to be here. But if I can figure out what I want to do, My dad's a recruiter. He's already given me the talk. But of course, when dad tell you, it's like, nah, because dad has always had control. And as you're growing up, you want your own sense of autonomy. You want your own sense of belonging and existing. And so my son didn't want no parts of the military. But he went and got a job and he's living his life and he's seeing everything that I said. He's seeing his friends falling into traps. He's seeing people at his job that been there for 10 years and they just show up like drones. They ain't got no purpose. What they do don't really matter to them. They just there to collect the check and they miserable and they complaining all the time. And he was like, Pop, I want more than that. I'm like, I know, son. I know. And I'm telling you, you don't like school, so you're going to pay somebody to torture you? Because they don't care whether you show up or not. So you're going to wind up in debt and you got to pay that money back. Trust me, you going to pay it back. Oh, man. D-Rob says, I come to find out they brought me onto the coach here. They brought me, onto the coach here because I know how to connect with kids and know how to coach running backs. Hey, bro, you provide value. You provide value. And when you provide value, people seek you out. So because of your yes, you are allowed, this is Auntie Canada saying the D. Because of your yes, you are allowing others to say yes to take risks. You have built up the kids' confidence. That's it. You're giving them skills. You show them they can be successful. And that creates confidence. This is the reason why I wanted all my sons to wrestle, whether they wanted to or not. You're going to learn how to take care of yourself in a physical confrontation. Why? Because it builds confidence. It builds confidence. I don't care if you're going to be a national champ, an Olympic champ, a state champ. I just want you to understand the skill and the art. It would be nice if you could win too. But I want you to have the confidence. So Auntie Candace's definitely right, D. Totally right. And this young lion, this here, Michaela, she found this video because I had the vision and the desire to put it out because I know I have valuable information locked in here. And it may not be popping today, but somebody's going to type in the search one day, how to build confidence. Why do people keep failing? I don't understand personality styles. Can you show me some videos on personality styles? Boom. That big D energy, baby. Come on, stop playing with me. It's why we do the things we do in life, D. We have that vision for them. And the desire is what creates the fire. The desire is what keeps the fire burning. So you should always do things that you enjoy doing. Things that you get joy from doing. Things that make you happy. And if you can find a way to monetize that, bruh, best of both worlds. D-Rob says, went back to Texas for a wedding 2 weekends ago. After the wedding, the homie decided to go out to the club like how we used to do. When I got out there, I just felt uncomfortable. I was bored, didn't want to spend money on drinks, which I didn't. The scene just wasn't for me. Yes. Because you've changed your lens, your glasses, you put on some new eyes, right? And so now you see the world from a perspective of achievement, accomplishment, success. In your heart of hearts, you know, in that environment, there's not a lot of success. There's not a lot of positive things happening. That's a trap. Because you may be going just to have fun, but that's not everybody's intention. And in your heart of hearts, you know that's where the foolishness will normally happen. That's where the foolishness will normally happen. And that's the thing about once you get out of an environment, it's like you've been outside working in the cold. And let's say you work construction and you are on top of the roof, you putting shingles on, and then you get off that roof and you freezing cold, and then you go in the house. There ain't no heat in that house, but it's walls. You go in the house, guess what it is? It's warm in the house. It's warm in the house. Auntie Carrie said, because you tapped into something new that matched your vision and goals. You've outgrown that old version of yourself. And that's what it is, man. And so another trap is people will say, come on, man, why you acting different? Why you acting different? Man, you went down to that school, man, you done moved, now you come home, you can't even hang out with your boys no more. Hey, man. In life, birds of a feather flock together. I got family members that I love to life, bruh. I hate to see where they at in their personal lives. But our paths are different. And if I keep hanging out, I'm going to revert back. And I'm not going back. I've come too far. I've accomplished too much. And I got so much more I want to do that I can't get stuck looking in the rearview mirror. So occasionally I see him at stoplights. I'll talk to him through the window. Could you pull it up for me, baby? I'm sorry. You look beautiful, by the way. Have a good day. All right. I see him at stoplights. I talk to him. You know, we might end up at the same store. I talk to him. Maybe a family event. We get together. You know what I'm saying? But we're not hanging out, because where you want to hang out, I'm not better than that, but it's not what I want. Because I know anytime I'm stuck in my rearview mirror, I'm not looking forward. And if I'm not looking forward, I might crash. And man, that's why I was broke and going through what I was going through while in Texas. The normal was working all week, going out on the weekends. Yeah, no, bro, you was learning. You weren't foolish. You was learning. Now you know that it's a better way. And that's what most people don't do, because they are afraid to take a risk. They don't have the confidence in themselves. They don't have somebody in that corner to push them along and say, hey, let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. And if you do, they look at you like, what? Because you speak in a different language. The language of success sounds way different than the language of average. It just sounds different. And there's no shade to anybody who is not taking a risk. If we're not speaking the same language, then we just not speaking the same language. And so videos like this whole 100+ videos I've done, I'm trying to be the translator. My vision was to be the translator. Because sometimes in a moment that somebody's telling you something or you telling them something, you just can't see it. It don't make sense to you. They sound stupid. But then life happens to you and you stumble across something that somebody else said. Like when my wife come home, my kids would come home. So you've already heard, D-Rod, don't mess with us no more. Yeah, no, and don't. I still love you, bro, but big things popping and little things stopping. I know what I want. It used to irk me, man, when my wife would come home or my kids would come home and they say, Dad, guess what I just heard today? And then they repeat the same thing that I've been telling them the last 6 months. They used to burn me up. But then I realized I've been sowing the seed the whole time. D-Rob, big time now. I've heard that one. Oh, so D-Rob, big time now. He can't even come hang with the little people. It's like, man, it's not even like that. But D-Rob, it is. It is like that. You have raised your level of consciousness. You have raised your level of thought. What they're saying now is that you inspire me, but I'm too afraid to do it. I'm too afraid to join you. So all you gotta do is keep inspiring, bro. Keep growing. But you can't hang out too much, because jealousy and envy is a real thing. And somebody might set you up if they really are jealous of you. But they recognize, man, D-Rob about to go do it. And every time you go out and you make something happen, D-Rob, you shine a light on the people that, that didn't. Because now that light, you just flip the light on in their darkness. You're like a flashlight walking through the darkness. And some gonna run, some gonna be attracted to you, and some gonna want their own light. That's what you do, bro. Keep inspiring. He said, but I'm telling them, man, I have plans. I'm trying to be in a crib, not a shack. So I'm trying to be in a Cadillac, not in a 99 Honda Civic. Bruh, that is a much different ride. Oh, that's a much different ride. I appreciate that commentary, D-Rob. But that's life, man. That is life. That's what life is about, in all honesty. Connections, relationships, purpose, joy, gratitude. Those are the things of life. Saturday, I had probably the perfect day. Saturday. For the first time in my life, yo. I felt like whole. I felt complete. Everything in my life was just perfect that day. And I don't remember ever having a perfect day. I've had great moments in every day. But a day when my heart was fully full, my mind was at peace, everything was going the way that it should go. My youngest daughter, she had a tournament this weekend, a wrestling tournament. Man, I watched this girl go out here and spank every opponent they put in front of her. Shout out to Breezy. She spanked every opponent they put in front of her. She got a highlight tape for this weekend that's unreal. I'm going to share that with y'all probably on Wednesday. But she went out there and this whole year of practicing 3-4 times a week, year round, going to multiple tournaments, has paid off so much that her skill level is now, she's actually at an advanced level skill. Now, she has to develop will and that burning desire, but the skill part, she's understanding. She hit a fireman's carry. It's hard to hit a fireman's carry in most wrestling matches. But she hit one that was so pretty. It was so smooth. Even Jordan had to give her props. But I'm watching all of my children are in good places. They're on purpose. Because that's the biggest thing to me because I'm a father. So watching my children be successful was amazing. I connected some bridges with some other family members that there was some stuff in between there. We got some of that minutia out the way and started making inroads. Me and wifey was vibing. I had no worries. I was the happiest on Saturday. I was so happy I was afraid to go to sleep. I ain't want the day to end, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So D-Rob, what you talking about, man, is purpose. What my girl Michaela was talking about, she's trying to find her purpose. And she's understood that college is really not the path that she wants to take. Because I'm biased to the military, but I understand how powerful it is. Would I rather go spend $80,000 at a university to get a degree in something that I'm never going to work in? And I got to pay that $80,000 back. I'm going to go to school for 4 years, or would I rather join the military for the same 4 years, let them pay me for the whole 4 years, and they'll teach me a skill and a trade that'll give me the experience that I need, that when I get out, I'm now having the experience. I'm also a veteran and all the other benefits that come with it. To me, it's a no-brainer. It just makes more sense. But it's the fear. Oh man, I don't want people telling me what to do. What happens if we go to war? Somebody's always gonna tell you what to do. If you don't have a boss, if you're an entrepreneur, guess who's gonna tell you what to do? The IRS and your customers. You never gonna own a house. You renting a house on the city's property. Stop paying those property taxes. They taking the house and the land. But we have the illusion of it. You can do whatever you want to do to it on the inside, but if you got an HOA, you got to ask permission to do it on the outside. Point is, somebody's going to always tell you what to do. So having vision, having desire, I desired to get away from home. Because I knew if I didn't leave home after I graduated high school, I was going to, y'all wouldn't know me today. I was going to be stuck because I was running in circles that were not positive circles. They were doing bad things. But it was the culture that I grew up in. It was the environment. It was what I knew better than anything else. But I started getting some exposure and I saw that there was a better life. There was a different way to live life that was appealing to me. Auntie Canada, question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people are drawn to you and some people you want to have a connection with that it's hard to make that connection? As we get older, especially as we start, leading or get into coaching or even for D-Rock, coaching and ministry, in social media, there's people that's going to be drawn to you. Like this channel would have to be around probably 5 years before it get the traffic that it's deserving of. Why? Because I'm talking to a very specific subset of people. Everybody is not trying to change. Everybody is not trying to grow. Most people want to be having the freak offs. Shout out to Diddy. Most people want to be doing the freak off lifestyle. They guess it's all about having fun in the moment. They're not trying to build for the future. They're hustling for the weekend. They're hustling for the summer. They're hustling for some attention, some eyeballs. They're hustling to matter. But they're not trying to build. They're not trying to create. They're destroying. I think the scripture says the lust of the flesh. The lust of the flesh, that leads to some really dark places. Some really dark places. But here go this word I've been telling y'all. You know how they say, did you get a word when you went to church? Well, I got a word. The word, and this is my summary of it, how I wrote it down. The battle is not yours. That was my main headline, when I was composing this. And it says that you are the vessel that God will go to war through. Catch that. God will go to war through. You just have to show up, stay open, and every need will be met and every thirst will be quenched. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger they won't follow. This is why, D-Rob, some of those kids, they cling to you harder or faster than some of the other kids. They appreciate you more because they recognize your voice as one that I'm supposed to listen to. Those are your sheep, D-Rob. Those are your sheep. You have influence on those guys. They will be lifelong friends of yours. They will remember the craziest things you forgot, they will remember. And it's some of the things that's keeping them going. The people that are assigned to you will find you if you are taking the land that God commanded, right? We all given our marching orders or our assignments in our purpose. And once we start to submit to our purpose, we start showing up in the places and it's not us that's acting. It's the Spirit acting through us. When Moses went to tell Pharaoh, he said, "Who should I say sent me? I am that I am." And he says, "Well, what can I do?" He says, "Take that staff, throw it on the ground." Staff turned into a snake. Moses didn't make the staff turn into a snake. He was being obedient to what God told him to do. He didn't know what was going to happen. He was probably like, "Oh man," he probably was out there practicing, throwing a staff, and nothing happened. Dang. So he got in front of Pharaoh and was like, he laid his staff down because he wasn't sure. And it turned into a snake. And he realized, it's not me that's doing it. It's God that's doing it. These people didn't respond to me. These people didn't listen to me. These people didn't follow me because they're not my people. So I'm not going to feel a way that those people aren't here with me because they're not my people. All right. The battle, however, is necessary. Fear is only a distraction from the eventuality of God's victory. Fear is only a distraction from the eventuality of God's victory. Now here's the kicker. Whether you are the vessel that he uses is up to you. It's gonna happen. Do you want to be a part of it? Because I'm trying to give you the mission, D-Rob. I gave you the dream of being a coach, empowering kids, bringing communities back in alignment, helping kids change their families' lives, giving them the skills to create value. That purpose is inside you, D-Rob. But I need you to get away from your people that you grew up with. I need to put you in a foreign land so that you can be a vessel. Because the people that's around you, they ain't gonna take you serious because you just little D-Rob. I've been knowing you since you was knee-high to a duck. But these young guns over here, they've been waiting their whole life for a D-Rob to come and drop wisdom, to give understanding, to impart skill. And here's the end of that. If you won't, someone else will be chosen. His will be done on earth just like it is in heaven, and he has vessels waiting to serve. So don't block your blessing. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So here's the deal. We don't have to do anything but be open and show up. And that spirit will give us the words. His spirit will lead us. And then when we speak, the people that's supposed to be with us, the people that are assigned to us will be attracted to us. We will go into doors and have influence immediately because the people that helped us get into that door, they've already vouched for us. Oh man, you know what? I'm about to bring this. I want to bring Toronto Riggins in, do some speaking. But my friend here says that she's a dynamic speaker and that she has a heart for women and she's helping women really get to that next level. But is she good though? I mean, bruh, she fire. All right, bro. All right. On your word, we're gonna bring her in here. I don't know Toronto Riggins, but because my homie here says she that girl, I'm bringing her in, and I'm gonna pump her up, just like I know her my whole life, off the word of somebody that I trust and respect. And that's how it goes. The path is already laid for you. You just got to show up and do what you're supposed to do. Auntie Canada says, I believe it's always been my purpose to help others that desire my help. People have always come to me and open up and share their life experiences with me. They carry the same energy I carry. Exactly. People that aren't afraid to open up, they feel comfortable with me to open up. I have people come up a lot of time. That's my purpose, to have answers. Yep. And so, what is life really about? What is life really about? I'm going to close. Life is truly about discovering your purpose. And most of you already know this, but your purpose is truly just discovering you. Your purpose is discovering your gifting, your skills, your ability, and then flourishing in those. That's your purpose. And most times you're not going to find your purpose sitting in front of the TV. You said Deacon Glover. I'm just saying, bro, I got a word, bro. I want to pass it along. The battle is not yours. You think you fighting this battle. You think your friends are just, they trying to make you feel like you changed. You have. You're growing. You're becoming more confident. The battle is not yours. We're not fighting against principalities. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. The battle is not with my wife. The battle is not with my child. The battle is not with my brother or my neighbor. The battle is against principalities. There's something trying to stop you from being who you are. Not who you're supposed to be, but who you are. That's where fear comes from. That's where the I don't want to take no risk comes from. And all I'm saying to you today is if you would just step out and go where you know you're supposed to go, have a little bit of faith, you'll find out that doors going to open for you that you thought was going to be too tough to get open. But somebody's assigned to be at that door waiting for you to come. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger they won't follow. D-Rob said, close out with singing Amazing Grace. I might just do that. I might just do it. It's no accident that some of the things that you think, some of the actions you take upset people when it should be a good thing, but they're perceiving it bad because you are pulling away. You are becoming you. Some people are like with those parasites that leech onto you and they get life energy from you. You are what gives them purpose. And then when you start to grow, when you start to elevate, they want to pull you back because they feel their energy draining because you're leaving, because they don't have a purpose that they've discovered yet. They're too afraid to discover their purpose, or they're leeching off of yours. This is why we talked about the attachment styles for so long, and now the personality styles, the love languages, because I wanted you guys to understand that people are people. People are flawed for a reason. People make mistakes, but they can come back. I do believe in second, third, fourth, and fifth chances. But don't be deceived. There are people out there that don't mean good for you. You can't make somebody be a part of your team or part of your life if they're not supposed to be. Because if you bring somebody in your circle that was never supposed to be there, I don't care how cute he or she is, and you just want them, they're gonna tear your life up. they're gonna jack everything you've been working on up. They're gonna tear it up. So as we get ready to get up out of here, Wednesday, we got to have a conversation on Wednesday, because I think morning motivation is about to change. And so we're going to talk about it on Wednesday, though. We're going to talk about it on Wednesday, about how it's going to change and what's it changing to. Because, like I said, when I first started this show, this segment, it was most of a social experiment for myself to see if, one, I could be consistent at this thing called YouTube, but also if the information that I wanted to present would be appealing to other people. And it has been. I think it has been a success. But now I am entering into another phase of my evolution as a speaker, as a person, as a business person. And so I'm going to be making some changes, and I'm going to need my mornings to do some other things. So morning motivation is definitely going to change. I'm not sure how in this moment, and I'm going to ask for your feedback on Wednesday on what you guys would like to see, because I don't want to let go of what we've created here, but at the same time, I want to be obedient to the call that I'm feeling or the pull, you know, that I'm getting. So once again, shout out to my young Breezy, my young lioness. Went out this weekend and she did her thug thizzle out there and she crip walked and molly whopped these girls. And it was just a joy to watch her go out there and just, she used all her technique. She didn't go out there, she didn't try to muscle anybody. She didn't try to intimidate anybody. But don't come talk to her before a match. She ain't trying to be your friend. She'll be your friend after she whoop your butt. But it was a joy watching her put in practice all the skills that she's learned. And so I'm inspired by her. I want you guys to be inspired by her as well, because small steps, showing up, doing the thing, professionals practice 5 days a week, 6 days a week for 1 day of work. For 1 day of work. Just remember that. D-Rob, as a coach, you know this. You practice all week for 1 day, preparing for one team. That's how success happens. They ain't just showing up on game day saying, hey, about to put these kids in the dirt. Nah, you got to practice. You got to prepare. You got to be ready when your number's called. Just kind of got to happen that way, y'all. But great weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend as well. As always, it's fun to hang out with you and just talk about some real life stuff. If you was at a freak off this weekend, put a 1 in the chat. I'm just curious. Okay, I'm joking. Do not put a 1 in my chat. I don't want to know. All right, I'm getting silly now. Let's get about it. I got stuff to do today. So look, it's Monday, y'all. Go have an amazing day. Don't let one moment spoil your whole day. Don't let one person spoil your energy. Don't let traffic this morning have you show up at work mad or frustrated and then take that energy throughout the day. Be intentional about your energy. Be intentional about wanting to have a good day. Guess what? Life happens. You've been through dark times. You've been through bad moments. Guess what? You made it past it. And if you're going through something right now, guess what? This too shall pass. So, on that, we're getting ready to get about here. And I'm not going to sing Amazing Grace. But do you want a revolution? Whoop, whoop. All right, that's it, D-Rock. All right, y'all. Be blessed. Have a great day. We'll see you Wednesday. And come Wednesday, prepared to have real conversation about the direction of the show and what you want. Because if you don't want nothing, then I can just stop. And, I don't think that's what I want to do. But, if nobody's really feeling it enough to say, let's do something different, then cool. I got 1,000 other things I could do. But for real, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Come with some answers or some solutions or some thoughts or some suggestions is what I meant to say. Come with suggestions. And we'll see if we can find another way to make this show work and be beneficial for you. Because that's really what I want. I want to be beneficial. All right. You guys be blessed. Have a great day. We'll see you Wednesday. Peace.